Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order. I'd ask that you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Honquist.
Here.
Bastido.
Here.
Mulliner. Here. Brennan. Absent. Verimas.
Here.
Deuter.
Here.
Dunn.
Here.
Hill.
Here.
Holumsky.
Here.
Jensen.
Here.
Paludo.
Here.
Cahill.
Here.
Nudira.
Here.
Park.
Here.
13 present, 1 absent.
13 present, 1 absent. We have a quorum. Item 2, receipt of written communications from the public. Is there anyone that has a written communication that they would like to deliver to the council? If so, please raise your hand. Seeing none, on to item 3, public forum. Clerk, has anyone signed up for public forum?
Yes, Jim.
So head up if you would proceed to the microphone. You have 3 minutes. Thank you. State your name. Address is optional.
Right, that one?
Behind you, yeah.
The one behind you, yep.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This evening, I'm going to ask the city of Elmhurst to hire me, Jim Hodap, as a ecological restoration advisor. And I would like to help in the restoration of the Prairie Path back to Prairie. And I would like the restoration not only to be from the Salt Creek to Spring Road, but it should be from Salt Creek to the toll road. So my qualifications are that I'm Master P, and everyone can see that's me. And everybody knows P stands for prairie. Now, I may be old and I may be hairy, but I'm the best of all the rest. I'm the MC that passed the green grasslands test. And yes, I must confess, my destiny is finally manifest. I'm still a prairie fool. You ain't heard the news. I wasn't a no-limit nature nut, but I made the move, and I won't stop now, little kids. I can't stop. You can't stop me. So moms, teachers, dads, and mayor, don't try. We true dragonfly. We don't die. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Did I make you say, hire me, and I'll set the prairie free?
Thank you, Mr. Hodep. Has anyone else signed in to do public comment? All right. Is there anyone in the audience that did not have the opportunity to sign in that would like to make public comment this evening? Mr. Parkish?
My name is Claude Pagach. I live at 566 West Gladys, Elmhurst, Illinois. It's more of a question than a comment. The city puts out a financial report, and it's published in a paper. And what it states, it's a public report of the city's finances. But a week later, that same financial document becomes a legal document. Why isn't it a legal document when first published? Does that mean Claude citizen can come to the city and challenge any part of it? Why the delay? Since who prepares it says it's prepared with his understanding of the situation financially that exists in both cases. So I guess what I'm doing is I'm asking the city, I do have 2 aldermen, and I hope they can find out why. If it's a legal document a week after it's published, why isn't it a legal document when it's first published? Or does that allow time for somebody like me to come along and say, you're wrong? But then I'd have to have access to the books of the city, wouldn't I? So I hope somebody can explain it to me, hopefully my alderman, or maybe even the head of finance. Is there a legal requirement? Let's not all stay mute. Thanks for the time.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wants to make public comment this evening? There being none, we will close public forum. On to announcements. Does any alderman have an announcement they would like to make this evening? There being none. On to the consent agenda. Is there any item on the consent agenda that any alderman would like to remove, either to discuss further or to vote against? Alderman Deuter.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 5.9.
5.9. Any other items? All right. Clerk, if you would read the consent agenda, please.
Item 5.1, minutes of the regular meeting of the Elmhurst City Council on July 5th, 2022. Item 5.2, accounts payable July 18th, 2022. Total $3,030,087.46. Item 5.3, referral, structural footprint calculation, structural definition. Item 5.4, referral, residential chicken keeping. Item 5.5, report 2022 Elmhurst Craft Beer Festival. Item 5.6, report private property Dutch elm disease tree removal. Item 5.7, an ordinance granting variation from the front and side yard setback requirements to the property commonly known as 110 South Elm Tree Lane, Elmhurst, Illinois. Item 5.8, ordinance granting a conditional use permit and associated variations to the property commonly known as 315 East St. Charles Road, Elmhurst, Illinois. Item 5.9, a resolution to approve a facade grant through the City of Elmhurst Facade Improvement Incentive Program for Elmhurst Hall located at 119 North York Street. Item 5.10, a resolution authorizing the issuance of a notice of award and authorizing the execution of a contract for the 255 North Addison Parking Facility 2022 Maintenance Repairs Project for the City of Elmhurst, Illinois.
Thank you, Clerk. May I have a motion to put the consent agenda before the council? Motion, Alderman Mulliner, second, Alderman Bastido. Minus 5.9. Sorry, is that your motion? Yes. And second, thank you.
Yeah.
Clerk, if you call the roll on the consent agenda, minus 5.9.
Alderman Honquist.
Aye.
Alderman Bastido.
Aye.
Mulliner.
Aye.
Brennan. Absent. Verimus. Aye. Deuter.
Aye.
Dunn.
Aye.
Hill.
Aye.
Palumsky.
Aye.
Jensen.
Aye.
Toledo.
Aye.
Cahill.
Aye.
Nudira.
Aye.
Park.
Aye.
13 ayes and 1 absent. 0 nays.
13 ayes, 0 nays, 1 absent. The consent agenda, minus 5.9, is approved. Clerk, would you read again 5.9?
A resolution to approve a facade grant through the City of Elmhurst Facade Improvement Incentive Program for the Elmhurst Hall located at 119 North York Street.
All right, can I have a motion to put this before the council? Alderman Palomsky, second Alderman Mulliner. Alderman Palomsky?
No comment. I'd like to defer to Alderman Deuter.
Alderman Deuter?
Thank you, Mayor. I pulled this so that I could vote present as provided for in our code to avoid a potential conflict of interest.
Very good. Any other discussion on 5-9? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Alderman Honquist,
Aye.
Bastido,
Aye.
Mulliner.
Aye.
Brennan, absent. Verimus,
Aye.
Deuter,
Present.
Dunn,
Aye.
Hill,
Aye.
Palumsky,
Aye.
Jensen,
Aye.
Toledo,
Aye.
Cahill,
Aye.
Nudira,
Aye.
Park.
Aye.
12 ayes, 0 nays, 1 absent, and 1 present.
12 ayes, 0 nays, 1 present, 1 absent. 5.9 is approved. Items 6, reports and recommendations of appointed elected officials. Mayor Levin, I have a few notes here. First of all, the walking and biking group that we've worked on for the past few months, and we're taking applications. This would be last call. We will be filling positions. We may not fill them all, but we will be looking through the applications that we received. So if you're interested in that group, please get your application in this week. Wanted to congratulate our Jess Wondersea and our museum for the picnic on the park that drew a crowd of approximately 1,000 to enjoy live music, face painting, games, a number of activities, including a visit by the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. I've got my whistle on my desk. The Rainbow Cone Truck. It's an exhibit that's going on. Eat Your Heart Out, iconic Chicagoland foods that runs for a few more weeks. So it's a exhibit well worth seeing. Welcoming Hello Donut to town. They had a ribbon cutting and want people to know they're now downtown in the old Fannie Mae facility. Some of the aldermen attended the Gloss Mansion park expansion that's now open where the former medical building was on Palmer Drive. This morning we swore in 3 new firefighters, so it brings our firefighter ranks. We got some officer vacancies, but the firefighter level is now back up to capacity, and they were very enthusiastic to be joining our department. 2 other issues. One is you may have seen in the paper, and you may have gotten calls about an incident where swastikas were painted on 2 properties. I'm pleased to report that our police department, through some very excellent investigative work, was able to make an arrest on those 2 incidences and maybe one additional one. So we certainly don't want our community to feel that we are not taking these kinds of incidents seriously. And lastly, after the incident in Highland Park, I had already had on my mind to meet with city manager and interim police chief McLean. We spent a little over an hour reviewing not only active shooter incidents, but other kinds of emergency situations which may present themselves in the city of Elmhurst, hopefully never. But I'm very confident and pleased to report that we've got excellent plans, whether it's an event like the Turkey Trot or Rock the Block, or something that might happen in a public facility. We've got plans in place. We've got a tremendous amount of training that our police officers go through every year, which includes all of these incidents. And I think, Chief, is it like 50 or 60 hours per officer per year of training. So we've got the motto's providing the best, and I'm confident that we are. So I didn't really have too much doubt, but I wanted to assure myself and you that all these plans are in place. And as we get into the budget discussions, there'll be a couple of additional ideas that we'll present. That's my report. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Next Tuesday, the city will host a blood drive here at City Hall that is open to the public from 9 o'clock till 3 o'clock. There are appointments available, and they always take walk-ins. But again, that's here at City Hall, Tuesday, July 26th from 9 to 3. Secondly, I want to update the council and the community on road work that's going on throughout the community. And this is unique this year because there's a strike that is happening with aggregate producers. Aggregate producers are the ones that are mining the stone, the gravel, and the sand that's used in a lot of roadway projects. And so this is affecting most municipalities throughout the Chicagoland area. First, and I'll separate them into kind of two projects. One is the First Street Bridge. When we began that project, we made sure that there was enough material available so that that could start and be completed without any delay, and I'm happy to say that that is happening, that they've got the concrete down, they're doing some additional work on it, but that looks like it will open on time with the materials that were needed. Regarding the remaining streets and curbs in town, we're trying to take an approach where we certainly make some progress on them, but not so that any street is exposed to gravel for any length of time. So as we are milling streets, we're making sure that there's enough material to produce binder course for us to put down. Unfortunately, that does leave some gaps between curb and street, which you may have noticed in some of the areas. I know we've answered some questions for some of the residents regarding that. We're doing our best to fill those in as we can. We are watching the strike very closely, of course. That's the Local 150 aggregate producers, and hoping that that is ended soon so that this won't be a problem. But we are confident that we will be able to finish all these before winter comes and the snow hits and we have to start plowing. So if anybody has questions, please either contact me, contact Public Works Director Balicki. We're happy to answer those questions. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, City Manager. Any other reports by elected officials? There being none, brings us to, unless I'm mistaken, a motion to adjourn. Other business. So I was off by one. All right. Is there any other business to be brought before the council? There being none, a motion to adjourn. Alderman Molnar, second Alderman Bramus. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you.